Welcome back to This, That, and Another, PPL's official podcast about the library and the communities we serve. My name is Jay. Sophia is no longer with PPL, but I do want to take a moment to thank Sophia for her work on this podcast, for her work on the library. You are amazing, Sophia, and there's no one else like you. Summer is at full swing here at Providence Public Library. Hopefully you are enjoying your summer reading. Maybe you're listening to this podcast out on the beach. But there's a lot of events happening this summer, from exhibitions to film screenings. You can check it all out at provlib.org and click on the event calendar for more information. One of those exhibitions happening right now is the Museum of Who Let the Dogs Out. It's curated by Open and Ben Sisto, and obviously there's a lot to talk about with this exhibition. We are going to not waste any time. I had the chance to speak to Ben about this exhibition and about the 25th anniversary of that very catchy Baha Men single. So my chat with Ben Sisto went something like this. Ben, every time someone hears the title, the Museum of Who Let the Dogs Out, they are immediately interested in what this is, what this exhibition is. So what can you tell us in a nutshell about this exhibition?
Jay, in a nutshell, I would say it's about call and response. The Museum of Who Let the Dogs Out is a moment to celebrate all artworks as being the result of collective community action over time. More specifically, it's an archive of objects and ephemera that I've collected while working on a project called Who Let the Dogs Out, which is an investigation into the origins of a musical hook that combines the phrase "Who let the dogs out" with the sound of dogs barking.
Love it. Why this topic? So what made you interested in this and connecting it to the song from 25 years ago?
The song chose me. I had no prior interest in Who Let the Dogs Out or Baha Men. Around the 10-year anniversary of the song, I was reading a Wikipedia article, had a missing citation on it, and I just intended to fix that one citation. Doing that required talking with somebody who turned out to be really, really fascinating. And I thought, I wonder if I keep asking people who let the dogs out, if I'll keep having interesting conversations. And then it just kind of snowballed.
When you're asking somebody who let the dogs out, what kind of answers are you getting from people?
The answer depends on what you mean when you ask the question. You could say who let the dogs out and start talking about like the symbiotic relationship between wolves and early man and the domestication. Maybe perhaps the dogs let themselves out from being wolves. Some people are very curious about the marketing history, people like Steve Greenberg and the Seattle Mariners, and how it made it into the sports arena and the jock jams realm. Some people want to know who wrote the hook. So it really depends. The Baha Men version does not have a question mark in the title, and I think that kind of gives it this choose your own adventure kind of property.
Sure. Did the Baha Men know what you've done here? Are they aware?
The Baha Men are aware of me. I am technically, I don't know what this title means, but I'm their official or semi-official archivist, which I think just means I own more Baha Men stuff than they might, and they want to put it on their website someday. I've been in touch with their manager. He's very supportive. They're in the documentary. Baha Men's history in this is they recorded a cover, and their version became a global smash hit. Anything that precedes that is not really of concern to them. They're just, I don't know, they're just like a group of nice people.
Who was the original artist who let the dogs out?
I mean, you're going to have to watch the documentary or come to the show or,
Okay, that's fair. We're going to talk about that soon. In terms of the exhibition itself that's on view on the third floor gallery right now, probably over 300 items in there at this point?
Roughly 300.
What do you think is your favorite? For me, there's so much to look at. So I grew up in the 90s, so I'm very nostalgic about a lot of what's in there. For me, as a baseball fan, I love that World Series shirt. But how about you? When you look at the collection that you have in there, what stands out for you?
There's two objects that I always come back to. The first is a flying disc, which for copyright reasons is not a Frisbee. But there was an 800 number, like a TV commercial, where you could call and it would say, order the Baha Men album and we'll send you this flying disc. And I had only seen a clip of it. So I got a still screenshot from a YouTube video. I searched for it for years, finally got it on an international auction. I was so excited I called Steve Greenberg, who was Baha Men's former manager. And I was like, I got it, my holy grail. And Steve's response was, I have so many of these in the basement. Had you only asked. And I feel like that sums up the project a lot, is like, one man's quest is another person's archive in the basement. And then the other thing is the Miami Boom Productions floppy disks, which I don't want to reveal too much about here, but there's a pair of floppy disks that when they were produced were in their original box alongside a receipt from the Kmart they were purchased at in 1992. And if you're into like ephemera and archives and fixed media for copyright purposes, it was really it was just a crazy moment to be holding them in my hand after like a decade of hearing rumors that they existed, and there they were.
People who might have seen some of the promotion, those discs are featured prominently in that as well.
Yep.
So.
In the exhibition, the discs are replikas because they're too valuable.
Way too valuable. Yeah, you don't get them stolen or whatever.
Yeah, so they're back with their original owners.
That's great. No, obviously there's a lot of fun stuff in this. I mean, Who Let the Dogs Out itself is a fun song, but this exhibition I'm sure has much deeper meaning. What do you hope somebody takes away from this exhibition when they leave those doors?
When people come to the exhibition, I would like them to think about all artworks as the result of collective action. There are concepts in evolutionary biology, like mutation and drift and punctuated equilibrium, that are very applicable to the world of art and culture. And I think when we understand all individual artworks as like a particular node connected to countless other nodes and influences, we start to understand all artworks as being both the result of or being influenced by prior art and serving as the source material for prior art. And I'm a bit of a copyleft person. People can copyright their works. That's fine. That's up to them. But I understand copyright essentially as a tax on education and freedom. And I just like the idea that we can let go of ego a little bit and have our artworks be a bit freer.
So tell us about the documentary, Who Let the Dogs Out. We'll get into how we're screening it here shortly, but what is the summary of this documentary? How are you involved in this documentary?
So I was touring the Who Let the Dogs Out show as an hour-long multimedia presentation. One of the stops on that tour was at MassArt in Boston. A friend of mine, a guy named Brian, put me in touch with Haji Films, and Haji Films came to sort of watch the presentation. And they said to me, "You've written a movie." And I was a bit surprised, but I guess the structure of my talk they found to be cinematic or, whatever. So they asked me if we could partner up and translate it into the documentary. So we worked together and traveled, and they got the funding and treated me super, super well. Yeah, and then Haji Films, it's their documentary. I can take credit for the research, but the editing, the sound design, the production, all of that is really them.
And this Saturday, July 26th, we will be having a free screening here at Providence Public Library. So if you're hearing this before July 26th, you want to come on out. What can you tell us about the screening this Saturday? What's going on?
Yeah, we're screening at the public library because it's a free public institution, ADA accessible, clean bathrooms at like libraries. Documentary is 61 minutes long, so it won't take up your whole afternoon. We wanted it timed to, be an easy place to pop into. After it, we'll have a reception where you can come check out all of the stuff in the museum. I'll be there to answer all your dogs related questions, probably with unsatisfactory answers, but I will be there.
This is just a fun question now, completely unrelated. In honor of Sophia, who normally asks this question, if you could have lawnmowers for feet or be stuck on a plane for the rest of your life in the sky, what would you choose?
Oh, definitely be stuck in the plane. Have you ever seen the movie Contact?
I have seen Contact.
I mean, say no more.
That's fair, yeah. So do you ever feel like you'd be tired of like just being in the sky all the time, though.
The other option was lawnmowers for feet.
Yeah, which isn't much better. The people who have chose that in the past have said, well, at least, I can use that as a vehicle to get around or...
Yeah, I'm sticking with plane. The lawnmowers seem very impractical. I'd be like throwing rocks at people. And also I'm assuming, well, is this a gas-powered lawnmower? What's the power on the plane?
I think you're allowed to choose. I think you're allowed to choose your own adventure on this one.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with solar-powered airplane.
So if people want to learn more about you and who let the dogs out, where can people find that information?
They can go to bensisto.com or openforever.org, which is a curatorial platform and project space I run. I'm not on any social media.
And the Museum of Who Let the Dogs Out is on view on the third floor gallery through August 15th. Thank you to Ben Sisto for joining the show to talk about the Museum of Who Let the Dogs Out. Again, you can find more about the exhibition and all the other current events happening at Providence Public Library at provlib.org. And then, of course, check out the event calendar from there. You can follow us on social media, Providence Public Library on Facebook, at Providence Public Library on Instagram. And, of course, we're on Spotify and YouTube, and most places podcasts are heard. Thank you for joining us on this episode, and we'll see you next time on This, That, and Another.